All right, well, welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are having a good day. It's Friday here in France. Looking forward to hopefully a dry weekend. What we're going to do today is we're going to mate the hulls, and I just want to get some big pieces on. What I normally like to do is I like to get the big pieces on, and then save the smaller pieces for last because, like I said, I tend to knock them off. And if you can hear the dogs in the background, I apologize. So what we're going to do is, before we go, I want to weather the bottom of the upper hull, and like I've done before, I am going to start with some. I'm just going to grind in some Naples yellow. Really, nobody will see this, but just in case somebody pops up there or whatever. I just kind of like to get it fleshed out and make it complete. However you guys want to do it, it's up to yourself. Not really too concerned about how this goes on or what it looks like. I just need something under there that shows a bit of dirt and wear. So I'm starting with the Naples yellow, and then I'm going to grind in some. I'm going to grind in some burnt umber or burnt sienna. I'm not sure which ones it is. Just out of practice, I always like to think that the outer edges dry quicker, so I tend to put the darker shades underneath. And again, this is just down and dirty. Picasso would not be happy, but Picasso's not building tanks with me today. If he was, he'd be pretty annoyed. So we'll see here. We'll just get this because the edges may or may not show up. So we'll get that. Let me just squeeze out a little bit more, and you're going to be horrified if you ever saw what my oils look like. I've had these oils for, God, 15 years, and I'm still not anywhere near done with them. But oops, sorry about that. That's what happens in live television. Nobody was hurt in that instance, I hope. So what we'll do is we'll just keep grinding it in. We'll get the lighter colors near the edge, and there we go. Now, okay, not pretty, but when it's made it to the hull, it'll do the job for me. So what I want to do now is I want to get this rear piece on, and again, it's the part of the hull, it's part of the rear hull that will line up with the hatch cover. So I like to do these at the same time. In the instructions, it has you do this well beforehand, but I like to get them at the same time so I can make sure that I've got a good fit on that. So what we'll do here is we'll get him in place. I've cleaned him up prior to the shoot. Got a bit of cement here, and we will get him on there. And we'll do some, and ready. We'll get him back there, and I'll run a bit, and I managed to glue my finger there. One of the things that's nice about this, I think this is, I don't know who I got this from. I think it's AK. I don't know if anybody remembers 10X, but 10X used to be really hot. So if you did a fingerprint in 10X, it was pretty much instant. This one isn't too bad. So, but I'll clean that up. I think that's happened to everybody. So I've got this all muddied up. Now what you can see is, and I haven't seen this before, but this is a pretty neat system. There's four slots, and on the hull there's 4 tabs, so it's really going to lock in there pretty well. So I'm going to lock this guy in, and the front part is pretty easy because I can see him. I can see it lining up through the turret ring. At least that's my theory. And we'll just get him, and let's see what kind of damage we can do here. He is, where are we at here? All right, so we got him locked in. No, we had him locked in. Just, yep, that's the positive click we all love as modelers. So, I can't seem to get him to stay positively locked. All right, there we go. There we go. So I'm getting a bit of resistance there. So what I'm going to do, for the moment, it's probably not going to make a difference, but after a while, this will settle. I'm going to get a bit of glue on this. I guess the hull is just a little bit towed in at the top, and it's not sliding in. So what I'm going to do is I will get, oh, there he goes again. I will get him. Yes, there we go. I'll get him in there. Now, I'm going to hold on to him just to make sure. Now, these back pieces are hard to reach. I think I can get my finger in there and get him, where are we at here? Get him locked in. And it looks like, yeah, it looks like he's locked in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab just kind of an old brush and reach in there and just glue them up and see if we can get the glue in the slot, because I can't reach it with the what's coming. So we'll hold on to him. It looks like the front's cooperating. Yep, the back track is popping off. This is the problem. You know, once you start handling things start to fall off. But it looks like I've got a good set. And what I'll do is I will reset this guy and get the tracks. I'll tell you, nothing like live television. There we go. We'll get him in there. We'll get him back down there. We'll set him. So he's set. So these guys are on there, right? So this is where we're at now. And I'm going to have a bit of, I'm going to have to use a bit of brute force and ignorance on that track, which I'm not too worried about. As far as my modeling, brute force and ignorance is just another tool. So we'll get him down there. I'll try to get some glue on the teeth to keep him in place. I wasn't expecting to have any technical difficulties. Wasn't expecting the camera to go bang, but there you have it. That's live TV. Still not cooperating with me, are you? So we put a little, when in doubt, more glue. Get him in there. Give it a 5 count. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the rear hatch on. The Russians, you know, they had rear engines, and they had pretty good access back there. So I mean, I guess you had to unbolt a number of things, but then you had these large hatches on torsion springs that would swing down and would give you access to what you need. So we're going to fit this piece in, and what's going to happen is he's going to engage here and here at the hinge. So let's see what we can do with that hinge. And I may have to go in there and just do a bit of shaving, just to get these guys to cooperate. I think the dogs, you can hear the dogs out back. They're pretty excited. Whenever you make the upper and lower hull, it's just pure excitement at the house. And that's what we've got today. So let's see. Let's go. Can we get you in there? We may have to give this guy a bit of to get some of the mold seam off. And we'll get him out. I thought I had everything cleaned, but that is not the case. So let's see. Let's go. Let's see. That actually, where's this going to go? Get fitted on, and we'll just, I don't know if they made, I think they may have made, this looks like they made this workable. I don't really know if I want it workable. That's just going to add, so we'll just clip that tab, and now he should just go in there. So we'll get, how far are we off? Okay, seems like we're way off. I'm not sure. I think I made a mistake when I chopped the fenders. So I'm going to have to go in there with some, PVC, not PVC, but with some sheet styrene, and just rebuild that area. Really, I never really do the back fenders. I guess now I know why. But let me get a bit. Where we go? You guys gonna cooperate or not? No cooperation. So we'll see what happens here. We got that. He goes in like that. And that is how life should be. Let's see if we can kind of fit him in first. Pop this guy in. Something happened. Nothing too untoward. So that's there. I had this guy in there. I'm not sure what happened. I'm sure it was me who happened. But that is, it's this piece here. I don't know. I think we're getting close. Chopping the rear fenders kind of changed the geometry. I'll know that next time. But it's going to look better with beat up fenders. So I've got them in there. God dang, I don't know what keeps popping there. Oh, I'm popping the road wheels, so I'll have to fix that. Tell you, sometimes when you're getting things put together, you do more damage. you do more damage than you thought you were gonna do. So that's where we're at here. So let's get some glue in here. And a lot of times, for some reason, things just slide in there easier with a bit of glue. So we'll use a bit, put that, push him in there. He's in there. I think for the moment everybody is happy, or at least not unhappy. We'll get this, get that, and that'll run across the top. And off camera, when I'm finished with this video, I will go back and repair whatever damage I did to the suspension. He's just not going in there. There he goes. There he goes. All right. All right, let's see. Are we happy with that? With Marshall Zukov, that's more important. With Zukov, be happy with that. So we'll see here. And we'll put a bit more glue on him. Looks okay. Looks like he's flush there. I've got some suspension. I don't want a movable suspension. So it's this guy here I popped. So that's the problem. Sometimes you end up making more work for yourself than you really wanted to. So the track is acting up again. We'll get some more glue on this guy. I may have to retouch up the weathering on that. So let's see here. Is he floating? I don't think he's floating. Nobody likes their suspension floating. So we'll just make sure he's down. Make sure he's down. What do we got here? We'll just make sure he presses down. He's good. Let me see what kind of damage I did on the other side. Let's see. Did I pop him? No, I didn't pop him. I don't think. Let's just give these guys a little bit more of what they need. Everybody needs but it needs a bit of loving. Okay, looks like we're sitting, looks like we're not floating. That looks okay. Back looks okay. I think we got away with it. Now we just want to come up to the front, and what I'm going to do in the front, like I said before, is this was all cast, and I'm not sure where the casting, how much of the cast was, but I don't think this was welded. I think this was one piece. So I'm going to dress this out with some liquid putty. I think it's AK liquid putty I've got once that dries. So at the moment, I think I've survived. What I've got to do is I've got to replace this piece because that came off with the fender. That was part of the fender, and I'm going to dress. Let me get that out of the way. I've got to replace that piece, which is something similar to that, and I've got to repair the fender. I'll just probably run a piece of sheet styrene across that, and or you can use Modeler's old friend, which is mud. However you want to do it, but I'll get that cleaned up, and I will get that done. But for the most part, I've got the hole mated. So for me, this is big process. I got kind of stuck with the tracks and the lower hull, and we went on holiday. But it's nice just to get this far. I put a Tamiya turret on it. I build a lot of ISs. I've got a Tamiya turret I stuck on it just to see what it looked like, and it was good. So before you put the hull together, just make sure you've got to drill out this hole and this hole from the inside. And what those are the night running lights, because they didn't run with bright lights at night. They ran with tiny little marker lights that the tank behind them followed. So just be careful of that. And so far, I don't think this is a bad fit. I wish I hadn't busted up the tracks, but I guess that happens to everybody sooner or later. As you can see, we're gonna get a nice color differentiation with the tracks. Got some bare exposed there, a little bit here, some in the back. And yeah, I think once it's green, we're going to add some colors with it with different kinds of stowage. So what I'm going to be doing next time is I'm going to be working on the engine deck. The engine deck back here, there's grills back here. There's an exhaust deflector here and here. Another grill there. There's a big engine cover there. I'm going to put at least one fuel tank on it. But I may just leave the racks and either out of a Coke can or a wine foil make straps on it and have it out. I just think that would just kind of make it look neat. So you guys have a great day. It's been a lot of fun building this. I'm trying to make my YouTube videos a bit better. So I'm working on that gradually. There's a lot of good modelers out there. Like I said, Night Shift, there's Plasmo, there's Scale Model 2, there's Hillbilly Modeling. There's just a lot of good modelers out there. And for me, I'm at the lower end. I think I'm okay. Maybe just a little bit above average. But I just want to show you some things that you can do to improve how your models look. Hey, you guys enjoy the weekend. It's always fun talking to you. We'll see you next time. Bye now.